It's absolutely crucial because we have to share ideas. The problems that we face in the Ukraine right now, the challenges, what's new, hybrid stuff, traditional warfare, the world being evolved through economics, through economics, through the Black Sea getting out grain. It affects everybody. But if we don't have a forum to bring civilians, military, security folks together, we can't be effective in solving these problems. For example, Vodafone in Romania controls most of the pipes for information. So disinformation, cyber comes through those pipes. So if we're not all together talking about these issues, we can't mitigate them. I think it's been important for a long time, but this is even brought to the forefront. You've got non-NATO members, non-EU members, Moldova, Ukraine, Georgia, who have been facing Russian aggression for a number of years. It's always been part of the East Europe. NATO didn't want to be involved because they're afraid of being dragged in. The European Union had a partnership with them, but that was not enough to keep Russia out. Russia, as you know, thinks of the Black Sea as their own lake. So until they're dissuaded of that idea, with the involvement of NATO and the EU, we can't be effective. So to come back to the point of your question, the Black Sea has always been somewhat neglected, and now it's brought to the forefront. But for the people living in this area, it's been the forefront of the east and west boundary for 20 years. I think it will accelerate EU integration, and the reason why it will do that, because as you can see in the case of Moldova, if you are outside of these structures, you're very vulnerable to coercion. I'm going to call hybrid threats coercion. If you see what's happening in Georgia or Moldova in terms of disinformation, economic coercion, political subversion, maneuvers on the boundaries, taking territory, the Transnistria, or in Georgia, Ossetia, Abkhazia. So these things have become normal tactics. If the EU and NATO don't open up to allow these entities more stability, and that's spun through more aid and support, then the area will remain unstable. It'll remain a battleground. So we have to move forward in that. So I'm very confident now, and the EU recognizes this especially, that if we don't destabilize the area, it's going to destabilize the rest of us. Look at the refugees coming into Europe. That's costing Europe roughly 10,000 euros per person. And you've got 3 million Ukrainians in Europe. So you can either take care of the problem before it becomes a major problem, you can mitigate the challenge beforehand, or you wait till later. It's always more difficult. I think the war in Ukraine has really galvanized the public opinion to understand that. The challenge is going to be, while EU decision makers see that, it's going to be harder for individual level. I live in Germany. A farmer in Bavaria does not see this. He doesn't think of geostrategic terms. He thinks, well, I have the same amount of money from the EU for my crops as I did last year. So the challenge is going to be, how do I link the elites up to the rest of the EU? And that's the same for my country. The United States is the same way. Many people that I know, why are we involved in Ukraine? It's so far away. And I try to explain to them that in an age of globalization and technology, there is no such place as far away. They're all integrated. So I'm very confident, I'm hopeful that the EU will move forward.